What if a bird could think about tomorrow the same way you think about next week? For centuries, humans believed that planning for the future was one of the abilities that separated us from the rest of the animal kingdom. We imagined that only people could save tools for later, prepare for situations that had not happened yet, or make decisions based on events still waiting in the future. Then scientists started studying crows more closely, and what they discovered left many experts stunned. At first glance, a crow may seem like an ordinary black bird hopping across a lawn or calling from a treetop. Yet hidden behind those dark eyes is a mind far more sophisticated than most people realize. Crows belong to a group of birds called corvids, which also includes ravens, magpies, and jays. These birds have long been famous for their intelligence. They solve puzzles, recognize human faces, use tools, and even appear to hold grudges against people who treat them badly. But planning for the future is something entirely different. Future planning requires an animal to imagine a situation that does not exist yet. It means resisting the temptation of an immediate reward, because a better opportunity may arrive later. For many years, scientists thought this kind of mental time travel was unique to humans. Then the crows challenged that assumption. One of the most remarkable discoveries came from a series of experiments involving captive crows. Researchers trained the birds to use specific tools to obtain food. For example, a crow might use a small stick to reach a reward hidden inside a container. The birds quickly learned how the tools worked. The truly surprising part came afterward. The scientists removed the food and the testing setup entirely. Hours later, the crows were offered several objects. Most of the items were useless trinkets. Only one object was the tool they would need in a future test. The birds could not use the tool right away. There was no food available. There was no immediate benefit. Yet many of the crows deliberately selected the correct tool and carried it away. Even more astonishing, when the testing apparatus returned much later, the crows used the saved tool to obtain food. Think about what that means. The birds were not simply reacting to something in front of them. They appeared to be remembering a future opportunity and preparing for it in advance. They chose an item that had no value in the present because they expected it would become useful later. Scientists were amazed because this behavior closely resembles how humans prepare for future events. If you pack an umbrella because rain is forecast tomorrow, you are planning ahead. In a surprisingly similar way, the crows seem to be making decisions based on future needs. Researchers conducted additional experiments to rule out simpler explanations. Perhaps the birds merely liked certain objects. Perhaps they had formed automatic habits. Yet the results kept pointing in the same direction. In one study, crows were given the chance to choose between an immediate food reward and a token that could later be exchanged for an even better reward. Many of the birds willingly passed up food they could eat right away. Instead, they selected the token and waited for the future payoff. Patience is difficult even for humans. Yet these birds demonstrated an impressive ability to delay gratification. The findings raised a fascinating question. How can a crow perform mental tasks that seem so advanced when its brain is so different from ours? For a long time, scientists believed large mammalian brains were necessary for complex thinking. Human brains and bird brains look very different on the surface. Birds do not possess a neocortex, the brain structure often associated with higher reasoning in mammals. But appearances can be deceiving. Modern research has revealed that bird brains are packed with densely connected neurons. In some regions, crows have neuron counts comparable to those found in certain primates. Their brains may be smaller, but they are organized in remarkably efficient ways. In other words, evolution found a different route to intelligence. The result is a bird capable of solving problems that once seemed far beyond the reach of animals. Wild crows provide even more evidence of forward thinking. Many species store food in hidden caches. They may bury nuts, seeds, or other food items in dozens or even hundreds of locations. Later, sometimes weeks or months afterward, they return to retrieve them. At first, this may sound like simple instinct, but crows add an extra layer of sophistication. Researchers have observed crows watching one another during caching activities. If a crow suspects another bird has seen its hiding place, it may later move the food to a completely different location. Imagine hiding your valuables because you think someone might steal them, then secretly relocating them when nobody is watching. That is essentially what some crows appear to do. This suggests they may be considering not only future events, but also the possible intentions of other individuals. The more scientists learn about crows, the more mysterious these birds become. Some studies indicate that crows can recognize specific human faces for years. If a person captures or threatens a crow, nearby birds may remember that face and respond cautiously whenever the individual appears again. Even younger crows can learn these warnings from older members of the group. It is almost as if information spreads through a crow community. Knowledge is passed down. Lessons are remembered. Future risks are anticipated. If you enjoy uncovering secrets like these, be sure to subscribe to Backyard Bird Mysteries for more journeys into the hidden world of birds. Perhaps the most remarkable aspect of crow intelligence is how familiar it feels. We often imagine intelligence as something that exists on a ladder, with humans at the top and other creatures below. But crows challenge that picture. Their minds did not evolve to write books, build cities, or launch rockets. Instead, they evolved to survive in forests, fields, neighborhoods, and cities. Yet along the way, they developed abilities that sometimes mirror our own in unexpected ways. When a crow saves a tool for later, remembers where food is hidden, anticipates theft, or waits patiently for a future reward, it forces us to rethink old assumptions. Maybe intelligence is not a single path. Maybe nature has invented many different forms of cleverness. What makes this story even more extraordinary is that crows accomplish these feats every day while living among us. They perch on telephone wires. They patrol parking lots. They watch from rooftops and trees. Most people pass them without a second glance. Yet behind those watchful eyes may be a mind actively evaluating possibilities, remembering past experiences, and preparing for future events. Scientists continue exploring exactly how far crow intelligence extends. Can they imagine multiple future outcomes? Can they plan days in advance? Are they capable of even more sophisticated forms of mental time travel than we currently understand? The answers are still unfolding. Every new experiment seems to reveal another surprise. Each discovery peels back another layer of mystery surrounding these remarkable birds. What once appeared to be simple animal behavior now looks increasingly complex, and perhaps that is the greatest lesson crows have to teach us. The natural world is far richer and more intelligent than we once believed. Extraordinary minds do not always wear fur or walk on two legs. Sometimes they glide through the sky on black wings, silently observing a future that may already exist in their imagination. The next time you see a crow staring down from a branch, remember that you may be looking at one of the few creatures on Earth capable of preparing for tomorrow before tomorrow arrives. And scientists are beginning to suspect that some of the secrets hidden inside a crow's mind may be even stranger than future planning itself.